Are you ready?
Ready to go live. Good evening.
Vietnam. Oh no.
Welcome to the Absolute Buggery podcast, where we're professionals. Tonight we're going to be speaking about Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten
Shang-Chi.
Rings.
Yeah,
How are you
for
doing tonight, though?
I'm good. I'm good. It's fucking been a busy week. Been tired as shit. I think I fell asleep. What was it yesterday? About 4 past 4. Woke up at 8 o'clock this morning.
I envy you.
That's been my life. How are you? How's your week been?
It's been pointless. Um,
Absolutely
as
no reason.
as well the next couple of weeks, but that's life.
It's the right way to do
Um,
it.
Yeah, but we did do something interesting this week.
And that was?
We went to go watch Shang-Chi
Oh,
and
oh
the
yes, yes.
Ten Rings.
Yes, I remember I was there for that.
You were. You were
Uh,
indeed.
how happy were
Uh,
you?
I was very happy because now I don't have to wait until tomorrow to go and see it. I got to see it a week early.
That's even if we get the money tomorrow.
Oh no, sorry, not tomorrow, on
Monday.
Monday.
Exactly. And,
Uh,
it was good. This is actually one that's today's episode probably isn't going to be as lengthy as the others, but
yeah, it's not
still
gonna be
quite a bit
two
to talk
hours
about.
worth of me shouting at you.
Well, yes, it's going to be an hour worth, but close enough.
Yeah, but it's an hour that you don't have me screaming in your ear.
And yeah, for
In
all of
your
those who don't know, this is heavy spoilers. So if you don't want to watch spoilers or
Hey,
listen to spoilers or any spoilers, get the fuck out.
we should maybe put like a spoilers tag in.
Aren't there? Is there spoilers tag?
I don't know.
Oh fuck it, I don't know. We'll find that out next time when we are more professional.
Hopefully, nobody comes into the chat going, "Oh, they're probably doing a non-spoiler review," and then just getting like, "Oh yeah," and then he dies.
Yeah, no, no. Everything we talk about is always spoiler heavy. So unless it's obviously something you haven't watched yet,
Yeah, because you don't care about spoilers.
I
I do.
really don't.
No, I can't. I can't have stuff spoiled.
So would you like to kick us off as to why this was important? What did you
I
enjoy? Tell me everything.
I get the hype now.
There was hype.
Yeah, like there's been a lot of people speaking about the movie, saying how good it is, and like you've heard Laura go on about it. Um, and I get it now. It was dope. It was so much fun.
It was from beginning to end. Actually, it's a kind of. I don't think I can think of one actual boring
Like
part
I typically don't
or
enjoy
one.
like
Meh.
the setup stuff, and that was a little boring for me. But the rest of the movie, like,
Well, we got to give it face that I mean we're being introduced to a character we never seen before,
yeah, yeah, no,
so kind of setup
fair.
is a bit required in that regard.
No, dude, I don't want any explanation. I just want Simu Liu just kicking ass.
Yeah. Okay.
Like 2 hours straight of just Simu Liu punching people. But no, I thought that the cast was excellent for a change. The villain was, I don't know, maybe it's I'm looking at this movie through rose-colored glasses because I've only seen it once. But hell, I particularly like the villain this time around.
Oh, we
You
say
know,
villain, but the villain was
villain.
the actual villain, the main again
No,
DC and their choice. The main villain was only there for like 10 minutes.
no, I don't think. I still don't think that that creature. I'm not gonna call it the one who dwells in darkness because I've got my own opinions about my own theories about that. But I don't think that that was the villain. I think that his dad, the Mandalorian. Um, I
The
still think
chicken,
that
the chicken dish.
Wenwu was the villain of this movie. He
And
was the main antagonist.
no, well, like the whole point of this is he was being told by his dead wife to save him.
But I still I dislike that because it pulls focus away. I understand why they had to do it, but I still disliked it. But that I don't think that he was still willing to kill people and to do whatever it took to get his wife back.
Well, a man in sorrow, a man in pain, he's still in mourning. If
But he's been a bad guy for like 4,000 years. He doesn't get a pass just because there was a creature telling him.
well,
He
the
still went.
gods gave him the rings
No, they didn't. Uh
in the movie. That's how it was explained.
nah, I don't know, because the whole thing behind the rings was that they were a dragon's rings. That's why they're so fucking big, because that's dragon
Well,
fingers.
again, magic.
No, but I don't think the gods gave it to him. I think that we're going to find out more about the rings as Shang-Chi continues to be part of the MCU. But I don't think that, I think we're going to learn a lot more. But in my opinion, and we can't just discount when he was a villain, because he was the antagonist for the entire movie up until he opened the gate and then shifts focus and the creature that comes out of there dies.
Well, also, again, he wasn't just the antagonist for the movie. He's been the antagonist since the
Long
dawn
ago,
of yeah,
long
since the
ago,
dawn of the
Kang,
rings.
since, since like the early feudal Japanese Chinese era.
Yeah, and
he's
then
he's
took a
been
bit of a
a
break.
bad guy.
Met a
Yeah.
woman, settled down. I'm sure there's a song about that. Something that's got into the galaxy too, or something.
Uh, but yeah, I think that Wenwu was the bad guy. He was the villain for the past 4,000 years, and then he died. Um, but I dug the entire cast. I thought that the entire movie was well paced. It was a lot of fun. Like that, I could easily rewatch.
Yeah, I
You know,
think like from beginning to end, as I said, there are no boring parts where you just go, "Ugh, okay, can we get to the best? Can we get to the good parts? Can we get? I mean, from beginning to end, it's kept you in comedy, it's
oh,
kept you in
even
seriousness, it's
even
kept up the
the
hype.
boring parts, because the pacing was so excellently done. That everything feels like it has meaning in the movie. There's actual consistent movement,
Yeah,
and that I loved. And like there was one excellent bait and switch, which I had seen in the trailer, but I wish I hadn't. And that was right at the beginning, where he gets up and he does his workout, and you see him like putting on the button-up shirt, and then it cuts to that BMW that pulls up, and somebody steps out, and you're like, oh shit. And then the dude throws the keys to him, and he's the valet. I thought that was excellent. There's a lot of that kind of stuff in the movie.
where it kind of
That
makes you think about one thing and then completely changes your mind.
Yeah,
It kind of keeps you on your toes. I mean,
not in a like suspenseful way.
no, just like it's nothing that you're gonna expect.
But also another big plus that I think this movie has in its favor is Aquafina, who's an excellent comedic actress.
Fuck yeah, no, she was.
Dude, her inclusion in this movie, like as Steph was saying, like she's badass because she needs to be badass.
Yeah, but also like if we include like from
Con-
the beginning to the end, forceful of the inclusion, sort of, it just
Yeah,
made it that more
and
entertaining.
and it she was the core character without it ever feeling like um she's just an add-on. She's just a sidekick. She felt like a main character, and
Yeah,
she wasn't a love interest. She wasn't,
no, she was just
wasn't.
a friend.
She was Shang-Chi's best friend, and she was there for.
Yeah, and it was very interesting, especially like as I said, she kind of forced her purpose in the rest of the
Yeah, she was
story.
like, I'm not gonna let you go.
No, it's like no, tell me on the plane while we go to wherever we need to go to do whatever the fuck we. She's like, I don't care. We just cut up a bus. We fucked up a bus. We had a dump truck stop us, and now you're gonna
Yeah.
tell me on a plane to.
I'm not sure where it was, because they said Macau, but I always assumed that it was Madripoor from what do you call those things? The trailers.
Yeah.
I'd assumed it was Madripoor because there was an inclusion in one of the trailers of the power broker is always watching, but that could have. Um Sorry, I'm just doing my.
Blah, blah, blah.
I just want to double check. What are your thoughts on the movie, dude?
I enjoyed it. Like as I said from beginning to end, I'm an action packed um, fan, and yeah, there were times where there was no actual action per se, as if when we're talking about punches being thrown and kicks being swung and shit like that. Yeah, I can stick around for all of that type of stuff, but it didn't let me down from the very start. I mean, it started off with sort of a simple explanation. For all of of you who can't read, it does have subtitles, so try and get someone to read it for you. I don't think there's anyone like that, but okay. But no, like I think at the beginning of the movie, my wife even asked me if we were watching the right movie because it was in a different language, and I kind of had to explain it to her that that's how this sort of starts.
No, because I mean it's a story about a Chinese guy. You know,
Yeah.
he's just this guy who kills many people.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
like, I mean, it was explained at one point that his father, in essence, groomed him or built him to be unkillable,
or to
and
be like the perfect weapon.
yeah, and I mean, at some points, even goes toe to toe against his own father, who's utilizing the rings at the time, and still manages to keep his own.
And he goes up against the Death Broker, which I'm sad that they didn't use him more. And he just, he gets his soul sucked out.
Yeah, no,
Death
there was
Broker being the dude with a mask.
yes, no, I know who the Death Broker is. Like it's interesting. Like they throw in again for a lot of them, a lot of people who don't know much about the story about who's doing the what and the where sort of situation. They introduce these characters quite well to where you can just go Google it and find out information. I mean, Deathbroker is pretty much the one who was ordered by his father to train him from a young age. The way they include that later on, because I mean they show you a fighting scene between them when he was younger, when he was a teen or 18, 16, somewhere around there, and they get to that fight where he cuts him on the face with his dagger, and then that scene, that same fight plays out, but obviously with a different ending because he obviously got better as he
Yeah.
got older. So it kept you in from beginning to end. It kept, like, if you notice these small tidbits, like small things like that. I mean, it sounds stupid to a lot of
Sorry,
those that
guys.
don't watch it.
Sorry, guy's name is Death Dealer, not Broker. I'm confusing him with Power Broker.
Power Broker, yeah. So no, just like the way they keep you involved from beginning to end. And I mean, at one point, while watching the movie, I stopped watching the main part and started looking at everything around it because there's definitely going to be. Did you see this in the background?
Yeah,
This is there.
but the action scenes were so satisfying. Like it made up for the talky bits,
That's all. Keep it.
the talky
Yes.
the talky bits and the fight bits. And for me, like, so that when I watch an action movie, I break it up into those two. There's talky bits and there's fighty bits. And for a good action movie, there has to be both working simultaneously. Have to be a
Well,
really interesting talky bits and really interesting fighty bits. But everything worked so well in this movie.
I think
Everything.
that's what Marvel does best when it comes to a lot of their work.
Mm.
Is they manage to break it down, especially when it comes to certain serious things. They understand that they might bore their crowd when it comes to them being like talking about the important matters. So obviously they throw in those comedic breaks and those comedic timings just to keep you on, awake and a part of it as it gets like shown to you. So
But
I think it
I
did very
mean,
well.
they did a good job with the comedy, whereas you know, a lot of movies they will have like a very serious bit and then they will break that up with comedy but very forcefully.
Yeah.
With us, it ebbed and flowed into this, you know, from serious to comedic and then back into serious very smoothly. And I don't know, I'm in love with this movie. It was so good.
No,
It was
I fucking
genuinely an awesome.
like this is honestly one I wouldn't mind definitely watching over and
Yeah,
over again for a
and not
while.
not like being like, um, oh no, I'm gonna wait, you know, a couple weeks before I rewatch it. I'm down to go rewatch it as soon as I don't have to.
Yeah, no, so like I don't know, just there was it's a lot to talk about. I mean, it is quite a lengthy movie, but I mean, all of them are. I mean, it's like
Yeah, I'm,
2 hours 12 minutes worth of a movie. I mean, we did sit from beginning to end, so obviously
yeah,
stayed for the
we watched the length of those 12 hours.
yeah 12 hours, 2 hours,
2 hours, 2 hours, 12 minutes,
12
12
fucking
hours.
12
We
hours 2
sat
minutes. Yes,
in the theater for 12 hours.
yeah, and we went to the movie at 8 p.m., guys, so we stayed there until 10 o'clock the next day. Definitely worth it. No,
8 o'clock
8 o'clock.
next
Damn it.
day.
Shut up, shut up your 12 hours bullshit. No,
Oh god.
I genuinely loved it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was
The more I can, the most I can say, like just rethinking over the movie as we watched it, the same thing over and over again. It's just it's awesome. For
it,
those of you who haven't watched it, you
it is
definitely need to.
great.
It
It
was
was
worth every fucking second, cent, whatever the fuck you want to.
it was just a good movie. It was what, you know, it was perfect. I can't, you know, other than like the inclusion of some of the really weird slow-mo scenes that I wasn't too hot on. Um Other than that, it was awesome. You know, I've got a couple small gripes. Like they could have used the Death Dealer a little more as a villain
Yeah,
or as a set piece in the fights.
yeah.
But other than that, like there's little little things about like when we were using the rings, like when he's punching the gate, you see him slam his fists together, and all rings, the five that are on one hand,
Move
transfer
on to
to
the
the
other.
other. And it was just, it's stuff like that. It was just so cool. And like um Shang Chi using the rings in aerial battle, like stepping on one and then grabbing another, and it was just
Yeah, so that was actually one of the fights well, one of the things about the fight we spoke about, sort of during and at the end of the movie. So,
yeah, I said very loudly during the last fight scene, oh, that was fucking dope. And then I just had Dylan laughing at me.
no,
It
that's
just was.
exact. That's all it was. It was like you saying something, and then I couldn't help but laugh
Dude, it
straight
was
out of the
because
box.
I I couldn't not say it. It was just I was so invested in the fight scenes because they were so well done.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know, there
know.
was the fight choreography was so on point. It felt like a real Wuji or Janjia movie. You know, a lot of it had the same feeling. You know,
Yeah,
these very well choreographed fights where it's almost like a dance where each person is moving, but there's still impact in every punch and kick and
every
I don't know
sentence that they pretty much
ring
spoke about,
thing.
like everything from like it's again not even just the fighting kept me there.
Mm.
It was from beginning to end. I mean, so I've wanted to search this since, and I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. But I blame this on a pandemic. So I'm looking at the Iron Man box office when it grossed for the very first time. That it grossed a $35.2 million on its first day. Now this is why I feel like the pandemic was so bad. Because I mean, when we went to the movies, there were what 2, 4, 6, 8. It's about not even 10 people in that
Other than
entire
us,
yeah, other than us.
yeah, there
And the
were.
movie still, on its opening day, it made 29.6 million.
Oh yeah, if we weren't living in a pandemic where you can't pack theaters, definitely, it would have been um huge because Marvel is um they they are so well known. They're gonna pull people.
Yeah.
To Laura in the chat, they definitely convey the romance martial arts.
And yeah,
Yeah,
that was also a point we spoke about on the way home. Like when it comes to
that
Asian movies or mostly their fighting styles and stuff like that, it's both done in a defensive offense as well as a romantic
it's
way.
it's done. It's portrayed very artfully, especially in like I keep saying to Steph that we need to watch Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon
Yeah,
because it is a genre movie and it's about the martial arts and how well, not about martial arts but it's about the fight.
mm.
And I mean, you and I broke one of our rules, which is we don't discuss outside of
But I
the
mean, as
podcast.
soon as the movie was over, but again, whether we talk about it then, we're gonna relay the same shit again because it was
It's
that amazing.
no, but I'm saying we don't want to like muddy each other's opinions. That movie was just so good.
No, like,
I'm
yeah.
I'm
So for all well, like, I'm not as well versed in terms of the names of all of the types of films and stuff, but I have watched a lot of martial arts movies and stuff like that. And when it comes down to the more fantasy style martial arts fighting and stuff like that, with the more
where there's a lot
flurries,
of um like l-
propulsion and stuff like that
yeah,
of
like
the
they're jumping,
characters,
they're
yeah.
fighting in midair and jumping off of
And it was like it brought Western and Eastern culture into one movie, which you don't get a lot of, especially in box office.
yeah, because especially like when you see Razor Fist and Shang Chi fighting in the
Yeah, it's
in
two complete
yeah, the
versions.
Razor Fist is fighting like an American or like a Westerner where he's just punching and slashing and trying to kill the guy, where Shang Chi
And
is like doing all this aerial stuff around the
it's strength versus dex. The no, but that's exactly what it is. Because I mean, yes, Razorfist did have a bit of flurry in his movements, and in terms of his
Mm.
mobility and stuff. But he didn't. He mostly focused
No, he
on
was
damage and trying to hit and trying to smack. He did obviously get some own of his own spin thing sort of things done, but Shang-Chi focused completely on using his surroundings to keep him safe, in the same time as making sure he didn't get himself fucked up
but
like the boss.
that scene where he jumps over the top railing and spins around the one of the handrails.
Yeah,
That was one of the coolest like fighting moves I've ever seen in a movie ever. Because what another thing that the director did wonderfully in this movie was they were able to track the fights. So you
yeah,
weren't except for that very last fight because there was so much mist and so much other stuff going on. You know, the dragon
yeah,
versus
yeah. But I mean, it's
the
also trying to
fucker.
work with a whole bunch of CGI and make sure that it works. Throwing a bit of mist every now and then kind of helps you hide some things that you don't know.
But that for the most part in the fights they were able to track it very well. So you were always aware of what was going on.
Yeah, and a lot of fights that or a lot of things that we might miss while watching a movie is the inclusion of other characters that aren't a part of the fight
Mm.
being in the same area. Like, what are they doing? How are they dealing with this? Are they still alive? Sort of thing. And that's exactly what they did with
Yeah.
Shang
when he
Chi.
when he grabs that woman's laptop and it gets cut in half, and she's like, "No."
Yeah, but like in the entirety of the movie, just the movie, with the Aquafina and Simu Liu, their interaction throughout the fight is her trying not to freak the fuck out
Yeah,
because she's trying to save lives, but him also trying to keep the people away from her. But they still keep the connection from a person who doesn't have these amazing abilities, but still being as important as the rest of it, which I think is amazing. And just again, everything from the movie, like him getting out of the fucking bus at the same time climbing over it and all of that, like the movements were fluid.
Yeah, it was. You felt like you were watching real martial arts
Yeah,
fight.
and
Uh,
I've
but
noticed something like obviously it's kind of hit me now looking at the picture that we have up on the screen, being the San Francisco Bridge.
yeah, the Golden
I
Gate.
I see an inclusion of another character at some point. It might be very far down the line, but I am hoping that we might see an inclusion of Venom and Shang Chi because they are in the same city.
I don't know, hey?
I'm
But
interested because they are
that
in. They're both in San
but
Francisco. So
that's down to a rights thing, not
yeah, no,
a
by all
story.
means. But
Because we've already had enough difficulty with Sony and Spider-Man being in the MCU. I don't know if Venom is big enough for Marvel to want to put. He
uh,
doesn't make as
well,
much sense as Spider-Man.
I mean, there's some point there is going to be because the entire correlation between Venom and Spider-Man.
You see, that's the thing is,
Most
I'm
of
not sure. Venom, yeah, Venom is a Spider-Man villain, but I'm not too certain that Marvel's going to be, quick to jump onto that and try and get rights to have Venom in one of their movies.
to be honest,
Uh,
Sony has fought for less and has done a lot more. I mean, their inclusion of Spider-Man in the MCU has
I
already
mean, Spider-Man,
shown how well they can,
yeah, but
how much they can make out of it at the same time.
they pulled Spider-Man out of the MCU though, and then Marvel had to fight to get him back. So I don't trust Sony in the least to allow more of their property to go to Marvel.
It might not even go to, but as long as they work in collaboration.
No, no, no. I'm not saying go to as in give the rights back. I'm saying allow them to work with their property. I don't. I honestly do not think we're going to see Venom or what's Mobius or any of the stuff aside from Spider-Man himself in the MCU anytime soon. I think it's going to be years and years and years if the MCU persists that long before we even get a taste of
So,
Venom.
so this, ladies and gentlemen, is optimist versus pessimist.
Optimus versus realist.
Well, no, you say realist as if you know what they
No,
will do.
I'm not. I'm just saying because of how Sony has been the last couple years, especially pulling Spider-Man out of the MCU, they obviously don't aren't getting or
But
they're not
the
getting
f-
what they want.
so the final inclusion him into the MCU and continuous inclusion shows that they are willing to play ball.
No, they're
They just
willing,
want more out of it.
and Marv and Disney isn't as willing to give them what they want. That's why I'm saying that I
Depend
don't think.
again. It all depends on what they can do with it.
y-
Because you have,
No,
first of all, you have
it's
two
not about what you
characters.
can do. It's about how much money it's going to bring.
Yeah, well,
And I don't.
fuck. How much did Spider-Man 3 bring?
Yes, but that's because Spider-Man's big. He's
Yeah, but it
MCU
included too many
big,
fucking villains.
but
But it's
he's Avengers level big. That's
mm,
the difference. Venom isn't. Venom is a Thunderbolt. He is not big enough to include like Disney isn't gonna fight for Venom because Venom isn't going to be in an Avengers movie. Venom isn't an Avengers level threat, and he's never going to be part of the Avengers.
yeah, but
So
you got to continue the Spider-Man story somehow.
no, I think if anything, if like the best case scenario is that we're going to shift away from Peter and we're gonna see Miles. But Miles doesn't have the same villains that or doesn't
Yeah,
have all the same villains that Peter does. There's a new roster of villains that comes along. So Spider-Man is the big ticket there for Marvel and Sony. I
I
don't
don't know.
think
For me,
Venom will.
I'm keeping optimistic about it because I mean it's from a viewer standpoint, that could be something that changes a lot,
It could, but
especially in terms of solo runs like this, where you throw in, even if you throw in Shang-Chi dealing with Venom in the beginning, continuing the story of
I
what
don't
he's been doing
actually.
over the time.
I don't think that Shang-Chi and Venom actually have any interaction. I'm not as clued up on Shang-Chi's story uh, on majority of the other stuff. Uh, No, nothing that I can find here. So I don't. I that again is Venom is a Spider-Man. So they tend to keep the villains and the heroes together in their
Yeah.
properties rather than letting them just cross contaminate. Like Ultron or Thanos was those two were Avengers. And but we're getting off topic. We're speaking about Shang-Chi. Uh, so you're speaking about side characters. Another great side character that I know you
My karate a little bit, brother.
another side character that you were very excited about.
I am so excited about Trevor and Morris.
I so this is the one thing I am optimistic about is that we get a Travis
So
Adventures.
this is where I gotta kind of be a bit of a dick. You said, and we can go back to the VOD and quote this, that
Yeah,
he would not have as big as an impact or inclusion in the Shang-Chi movie.
but
Yet he stuck around since
okay.
just after mid of the movie towards the very end.
Okay, I will say that I was wrong. I accept that I was wrong, and god damn am I happy that I was.
It was
It was
tastic. Ben
it was
Kingsley added
great.
again as Trevor from
He was
Liverpool.
he was excellent, and a cool little inclusion there. He's got a Liverpool football club scarf in the back
Yeah.
by his table. I thought that but it wasn't Trevor alone. It was
No.
Trevor and Morris.
Yeah, no,
The
like
two just came together so beautifully, and they they stole all of the scenes that they were in.
if you just go from like them okay, so again spoilers for any of you who haven't watched it. They get their father puts them inside a holding cell and they hear a weird noise and they end up seeing Trevor being held there as well. Obviously meant to be killed, but he did some form of Shakespeare and entertained them, and then decided
Macbeth.
Macbeth, and decided to keep him alive. And obviously he continued with the horrible, well done, horribly, well done, horribly. I
But
don't know that mixture of acting.
I love that when they're speaking to him and Morris comes out and he's so happy to learn that Morris is in fact real.
Yeah, and everyone
Like,
else
when you
can see him. Yeah, and where's his face? Don't talk about that. He's a bit sensitive.
Just the two characters were great together, and I hope that we get to see more, be it in like a Marvel short or
I want to know what happened with Trevor afterwards, because you don't see him included in anything with the Ten Rings. You don't see him in any other inclusion
yeah, it's just
later
him.
on.
The
It,
last we see is him acting dead, and then he tells Morris to also
yeah,
act dead.
it's like it's called acting. Try it.
And then yeah, just the way Morris like
Like
stumbles,
rolls over.
falls over and just like flops. It
Yeah,
was beautiful. It was excellent.
for anyone who knows what a dog looks like when they play dead and they roll on their back and their paws are all awkward in the air, that's exactly what Morris did, and it was so adorable.
Is the Morris these two? I said it just now. I said it again. They stole every scene that they were in. They were so excellent in this movie,
Yeah,
and
I
it
think
was
like
it felt in place.
like everything gets serious and then Trevor gets out the car. And then it just goes from absolute serious. Even with Aquafina in the scene, and she is also a comedic break throughout.
Hmm.
She goes and she's also like sort of getting into a serious standpoint, and then Trevor gets out the car and it just breaks it completely. And now you stop focusing on the fact that they're in this beautiful and wonderful area,
Like this
this
magical
little
land.
realm or whatever, and it's just fucking Trevor. At the end of it, your brain just the whole time, fucking Trevor. He's
They
teaching
were
them
good.
soccer at one point, which I thought was fucking fantastic, and he's telling them
Yeah,
offsides. He's like, "Oh, you don't
offside.
understand me." Just fucking
It was
everything.
well done, and you know, and another thing that I think we should all step away from Trevor for a second is there
You can never
there
step
were
away
a
from
lot of
Trevor.
the side characters were all so well formed in my opinion. Like um everybody had a purpose, and there was real meat to their characters. It wasn't just um somebody who is there to drive the plot or to add something like
Yeah.
Aquafina and let me just get the cast name up.
So besides Aquafina, there was Ronnie Chang as John John from the Fights Pits that his sister was running. Which, when you eventually reminded me that he's one of the comedians, I actually watched two of his videos earlier on. That I think it was the weekend before, and as soon as it hit me, I couldn't get it out my mind about him bitching about the Westerner lifestyle and stuff like that. And now he's in Moscow and helping run a fighting pit. And then you actually see him right at the very end, which for all of you who don't decide to stay for the fucking end credit scenes, you're a fucking disgrace. You need to stay and watch that. That was amazing. I mean, watching his sister take over the Ten Rings eventually, but you then see him by her side.
Yeah, because he was like her right hand man
Yeah.
when she was running the Fight Club. And then Michelle Yu, I struggle with this name. Michelle Yu, as the aunt, and okay, I can't pronounce her name. Menger Zhang as Ling, his sister. They were all really badass, which is something we don't get in a lot of these solo Marvel movies when it's not, female focused hero. Is the women were all just consistently badass.
Yeah,
For
from the
no
get
other
go.
reason than being badass. I
Sorry, you
don't
mean
know if you guys heard
Fala
that.
Chen? Fala
No, that
Chen,
was the
Leiko
mother.
Wu. Was that the
No,
mother?
that was the mother.
Oh, okay. Megna Zhang. Xialing.
Yeah, this
Xialing Wu, yeah.
yeah. So the stuff with her and that the rope dart was so cool.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this is like the main reason why we brought up the Asian style movies. Is a lot of their movies include female fighters
Mm.
as being the top sort of fighters that exist throughout their history, and this kind of took like the Western aspect of women don't belong where the men belong sort of situation in terms of fighting levels or whatever, and spun it on its head, showing like she taught herself how to fight, she taught herself how to use the rope and dagger, and she was a fucking legend at doing so. And then she ends up running her own fight scene, like her own underground fight club, which I'm still trying to figure out that scene where she runs up the side on her like hands and knees up the side of the building in with the palisading and all that shit. It's still confused me a bit.
We should just watch it again.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think for all of these, all of you who might be watching this, that we're probably going to watch it again
Just watch it again.
and just have another episode of this of us just going, my God, it was good. But like since I mean, Black Widow left a bit of
The
an
bad
ugly
taste
taste,
in
yeah,
our
bad taste in my mouth, and leaving it off of something as amazing as Spider-Man: Far From Home. Then a massive break between releases because of all the obvious pandemic reasons.
Mm.
Then coming back with that, and now it's finally getting back into a rhythm that Marvel is known for. I mean,
Like I mean, we got previewed the um Eternals trailer,
we did.
which I'm also keen for, and
We
Spider-Man
also,
Far From
yep, we
Home,
also got the preview of Spider-Man:
No
Far
Way
From
Home,
Home. No Way
not
Home
Far
trailer.
From Home.
Yeah, sorry, No Way Home trailer. So I mean, but besides the trailers that were left, I mean, the end credit scenes, obviously the two of them that were there. I mean,
So that's a big that one I've got my theory about.
well, let's leave that towards the end because another inclusion that not a lot of people talk about, and we spoke about it because we were confused, was the inclusion of Wu and
Wong, Wong and
Yeah,
Abomination.
Wong and Abomination, one on one fighting each other. Yes, a Hulk-like creature fighting a man who can make magic
and
circles.
I mean that that's the move that Wong pulls,
Yeah, it's
where he
like,
creates the portal and then it just like the two portals, one in front of him and one next to Abomination's face. So Abomination just punches himself.
and knocks himself out in the process.
But you could tell that they had staged the fight. You know, the fight was it was like a professional wrestling type thing.
I don't know. For
There
me,
was
like when you was talking about pulling punches and stuff, for me it mostly felt like a. It was a training spar. It was a spar fight.
I I
They
I,
sparred against each other
I don't
just
know so
because.
much. I think that Wong is has got something else going on. I think because when he says you need to start pulling your punches, pulling punches means that you need to not hit as hard.
Did he
So
say
he's
start or
saying
stop?
start pulling your punches.
Oh, I heard
So
stop.
no, but he still bitched when Abomination hits him and he brings up his shield and it flings him across the thing.
Yeah,
So
but I
I
mean,
think
it's
that Wong
fucking.
was doing that for money. I think that he's trying to get a buck out of it. And when they open the portal and you see them leave, there's that enclosure that looks like the Hulk containment.
Yeah, because
Uh,
they don't leave to Kathmandu
yeah,
to
they don't leave to what is uh
Laura and chat. You can throw this at it before Connie gets it. Let's see who
uh
wins fastest finger
the
first.
the
Ooh,
magical
I can just hear fingers typing at keyboards. Vicious
city.
typing occurs. Was Talora let us down? Maybe?
Kamatage.
Kamatage.
Yeah, they didn't leave there. They left. They went somewhere else,
Well,
and
the thing is, I'm curious as to where they got this Hulk
it
enclosure from, because the only one we've
looks
ever seen was the one that Thor broke out of.
was on the helicarrier,
Yeah.
and it. I don't know. I couldn't
Couldn't
spell
spell it. We would have worded like, I don't know, sounded it out loud.
Camertage.
Camertage.
Because that also that room looked very high tech to me.
But it was also, again, it was
And
a bit dark, so I'm gonna have to go back to
we're just gonna have to rewatch it.
rewatch it.
Any
Whatever,
anything that we
whatever.
can't like brains around, it's gonna we'll just have to rewatch it.
Just rewatch it. It was
Any
funny, but
excuse.
also those those soul eater creatures, or the things that pull the souls out of the people, they reminded me of of creatures from uh, Hellboy.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't too impressed with all of that because I hoped that it was gonna be like Wenwu versus Shang-Chi. Just like them two going at it. But I mean they needed a redemption for Wenwu. So I get why they did it, but I wasn't overly impressed with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of that. Oh, I did something wrong. I realized I did something wrong. Here, I'm gonna give myself up for you.
Yeah.
You fight the good fight and win for us, sort of thing. So but also it's a father protecting his son, sort of situation.
Look,
So
um
controversial, but when woo. To Laura in chat, controversial, but when woo with a love face. Sure, okay.
Wenwu was a bad guy, but he was a good dad. Like all
Well,
he wanted was his family back together
no, he trained his son to become a killer because his wife died.
because the he trained his son to become a killer so he could kill the dude who killed his wife. But still, what he wanted in the end was his family back together.
And then he
That's
started hearing voices.
and then he was like,
So
okay,
he
I'm gonna
wasn't really a villain. He was just misguided.
no, I still say that he was a villain because he is a bad guy.
Yeah. So
I'm saying
now,
he's a bad guy, but he's a good dad.
yeah. So no, that's again one thing Marvel has done for itself, is thrown two villains in one movie, or two final
No,
bosses in one movie at the same time,
yeah, and
where the one really wasn't the other, but was for the most part.
but it wasn't a situation like say in Iron Man 3 where you think it's the Mandarin, but then oh no, it was actually Aang.
No,
This
we
was
knew it
this
was one
was
leading to another.
it was Wenwu's the bad guy. he is the bad guy right up until the end. He's still being a bad guy until the badder guy kills him, and
But
then he realizes what is really going on. But he was the villain for the movie.
yeah, so
If you think about it, he is the main villain of the
well,
movie,
I
and
mean,
then
he
there's
is the entire purpose of why, what
there's
all
the
the shit that
weird
happened.
tentacle creature at the end. Uh
Well, which
and
looked like a funny looking Drake.
and then the dragon just fucking eats it.
Yeah, and then
Um
Dragon loses the fight, but then wins the fight, sort of situation. I don't know, and then Rings of Death make hole in chest.
and
A
yeah.
lot of misunderstanding or no full explanation. Thank you, Steph, in the background, give us a peace sign. Make love, not war situation. But I just once the whole idea of getting to Tarlo was fantastic. The ever changing forest maze
Mm.
sort of thing with
You
again
gotta stay in the pocket. You
yeah,
gotta stay in the pocket.
and then you get Trevor and Morris. Somehow Trevor understands Morris, which
Stands him.
I hope some further explanation gets given as to besides the
I hope
drugs.
not.
Oh, you want
I
to leave it
hope
with
that they leave it as he
Trevor
he
just
just
understands.
he just understands. That's the end of it. But I want more of them. I need more Morris and Trevor.
I still gotta understand. No eyes. No. How does that thing eat?
He's sensitive about it.
It's fine. I'm asking everyone else.
No,
Because you see
he's
an entire, but
oh,
not even that. You see an entire family of them.
yeah, and but also when there was one scene, I can't remember where exactly it was.
This is one of
But
those giant fucking cats.
they're
And
not cats. They've kept also referring to them as cats. In mythology they're called foo dogs, so they are dogs. They're very big dogs.
if you're
But
telling me something looks like a lion and is a dog, we have a
what's that,
problem.
Malak? Okay, I'm gonna just Google it. Dylan, entertain the people.
So we're let's try and see if we can figure out these what mythical creatures.
Foo dogs, a mythical lion dog. So it's both.
So it's a cat dog.
It's
So
a
in other
cat.
words, we have cat.
It's a cat dog. A cool inclusion or cool little fact. So, food dogs are typically there's two outside um, entrances,
Yeah, one on the
right?
left and one on the right. Yeah.
As guardians. In Shang Chi, there are also only two food dogs. So it's keeping with that motif of there are these two protectors.
Yeah. Talora in chat says, I love the inclusion of all these Eastern creatures. Well, not even Eastern. These were so far out of the realm of norm. I mean, the one immediately, as soon as I saw it, looked exactly like Ninetales.
Yes, but that's Eastern. Ninetales comes from Eastern mythology.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about
So
like
what?
actual creatures that exist. But yes, no, definitely, I
Wait,
love the.
wait, do you think? Wait. Do you think the nine-tailed fox is real?
No, I'm saying
Okay.
when she talks about Eastern creatures, I'm talking about ones that exist versus ones that don't.
Alright.
Never mind. My brain's all over the place.
Okay.
I will have to explain it in slower format next time. But no, I like mythical when you're talking about the mythics that include like all of these get included in again the combination of Western and Eastern movies. They get involved in a lot of Eastern movies. These sort of creatures, these out of the blue situation, make believe things or part of history or whatever, some form. The way
So
they included it in this film was done perfectly.
it was less a showpiece for the movie and more. It gave a sense, especially when they were in Talo, that they're just another part of this place. It's not like, oh, you need to focus on it. Oh my God, look at this thing and look at all its powers. Like you get to see the nine-tailed fox, you get to see the
Cat dog.
pig chickens.
Yeah, the pig chicken, the cat dogs. You get to see the water horse.
Even down to the dragon, which was an Eastern
Yeah,
dragon. It was a single serpentine creature.
yeah.
Feihong, which are fish, effectively phoenixes. Blue dogs. Handan is what Morris is.
Handan.
Handan is what its name is.
I'm gonna stick to
A big chicken.
a pig chicken. Yeah. Also, it was just fucking cute, like the way, again, taking the seriousness out of any situation. You're thrown in jail, but here's a pig chicken.
He has a pig chicken, and an ex druggie.
Yeah, and an ex-druggie who can now talk to each
And,
other.
and that bit where he says, um, I went to federal prison, which was great.
Yeah, which
I
is
got
great. I got
clean.
cleaned, and then they
I
broke you up.
rediscovered my passion. I just that,
And then they broke you out. Yeah, to kill you. Yeah, but I'm alive.
no, but I did a rendition of Shakespeare,
Macbeth.
and the guys loved it. And just
You know, while they were putting the rope around my neck, I did a rendition. No, and it was fantastic. So again, Trevor's gonna break the internet at some point. Ben Kingsley, along with his
I
pink chicken, are just
I
gonna
need
continuously break everything.
I need a like full length 40-minute per episode, 10 episodes, 6-season long series.
6th season, even just
Which
of
is just Morris and Trevor
just
going
Trevor and Pig Chicken on adventures.
yeah, that's what I need.
This is
That
where
is
I will be the realist, Connor. No,
I know I'm never gonna get it.
but we'll be positive that we hope they do.
You can be positive all you like about Venom being in the MCU. I'm gonna be positive about
Him not
no
about a pig chicken.
about Pig Chicken and the actor having their own series.
And being more of an inclusion than Venom.
Yes, because Disney actually owns them.
No,
But
so-
no, that's the all of it was great. It was good. It was good. I've got minor gripes, but I love the movie. Like I
Also-
love 98% of this movie.
Also,
Which
when did Aquafina know how to shoot a bow and arrow, or her character Katie? Because
Well, they do have that little scene where she's like training.
yeah, but I mean,
could
she
have
got
just
it. No, but she got from the beginning. They just gave her a bow and arrow, and she shot a few. And she's like, "Oh shit, I got it!" While all
So
the
she
other
could
ones are
just
trying.
have like skill.
Well, they did
Yeah,
ask
or
like her
talent.
for her Chinese name, and maybe there is a bit of history with Katie that
Maybe
we
maybe
don't,
that we
maybe
don't.
she's Hydra. We don't know.
I don't
They
think.
ever? I don't fucking. I'm throwing shit at the ceiling and hope it sticks.
I'm hoping something sticks.
But what I do hope is that in future episodes there's a lot more inclusion, because when they were speaking when they went to Talo, they were talking about how where they went was just a small village where they actually have
And they
cities
spoke
that
about the
surpass.
cities, but I don't think we'll ever get to see that because they did say that the Soul Suckers destroyed those cities. So I think that the village that we got to see in Talo is literally the last of the city or of the
Well,
realm,
I will rewatch it just so I can see.
just so you can see
Yeah,
that.
because I mean, sure, people probably survived and they probably started rebuilding, because they did say their technology surpassed the one within,
Our realm. So that's
Shang-Chi's realm. So
putting it up against like Wakanda.
yeah, so I mean, possibilities aren't
Oh.
they aren't necessarily endless, but they are there.
Well,
Again, I will rewatch it just to find out.
I still want to know if we're gonna get another Shang-Chi movie or to focus elsewhere.
They will most likely. I mean, we've already seen the end credits, it including Shang-Chi and Wu talking about what's within the brace within
I
the.
think the next time we see Shang-Chi is we're going to see him in an Avengers. I don't know if we're gonna see him before that.
I don't know. Even if but he might be in a Phase 4, Part 2 sort of situation. In my mind, I'm keeping Phase 1 to 3 in one box, and Phase 4 until the end of Phase 4 grouping in another.
But Phase 4 does have the most content. I think he'll be in.
No Way Home. I don't think.
Maybe.
I think he. I
Maybe.
think he might more be in Multiverse of Madness.
Because okay, so can we move on to theories now?
Well,
About
let's. Yeah, because I mean, the one reason why I would say like Multiverse of Madness specifically is because of Wu's interest in what is in the rings.
Oh, Wong. Yes, that
Wong.
little pulsing thing.
Yes.
I think that isn't just sending out a, it's not just a beacon in the universe that they're in. I think that's sending out a message across the multiverse.
That's what I'm saying. Like the inclusion in the multiverse of madness could.
But I think the multiverse of madness is to start at No Way Home. Like No Way Home is going to be a Spider-Man movie, but I think it's
Yeah, but
going
it's
to
sort of
be
then separate, like that moment in time when Doctor Strange is doing what he does, and all the shit hits the fan. It's pretty much what Peter does to deal with it, and then what Doctor Strange is going to have to do to deal with it
yeah,
at the
and I
same
think
time.
we're that No Way Home dealing with the multiverse, we're going to gonna lead straight, yeah, to Laura. No Way
Yeah,
Home is gonna lead straight into the multiverse. I think so. I think that No Way Home, aside from being a Spider-Man movie, is going to be a prequel or prelude to Multiverse of Madness.
yeah. So I just again the cost of everything that is coming out. Oh, I'm so happy for. I am definitely down for all of this. Like,
And I mean, they've released. Laura, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 6 dates for new movies, but they have not said what the movies are. And I've got a strong suspicion that one of them is going to be Fantastic Four.
so I know No Way Home is for December 2021. There was a release for that.
Yeah,
And before
Eternal,
that was going to be Internals.
which is in November. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's November, then December. But
and then
then,
February for, I think it's February for um Multiverse, Marvel is for release dates. March 25th is Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So yeah. Um, and then Thor: Love and Thunder in May 6th, Black Panther, Marvels. So
yeah, so I
next,
think with those Thor, Love and Thunder, Black Panther, and all of them, those are going to be a later information release because they still like might need to
no,
work out a few things.
I've got the dates.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Uh, Doctor Strange on March 25th, Thor: Love and Thunder May 6th, Black Panther July 8th, and the Marvels November 11th.
So they've given dates.
They've given dates for everything up to Guardians Volume 3. And then there's only one, two, 4 slots that they have blocked out dates for, but have not said what the movies are. And one of them is not Fantastic Four. So I think it might be like Doctor Strange 3 or Black Panther 3 or the Marvels, uh, Captain Marvel 3. I don't know. There's a
Well, I
lot of.
mean, we still need, well, like, what do they have there? Hawkeye is still going to be released, but that's going to be released as a series, which I've already watched the trailer for,
It looks amazing.
and it looks amazing. Oh, we still have Ant-Man and Quantumania, which is going to
Quantumania,
be.
yeah, but that's the dates that I gave there were the 2022 dates. Ant-Man, the new Ant-Man is February 17th, and Guardians Volume 3 is May 5th. But that's in 2 years' time.
It's March 25th, May 6th for Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther, July 8th, Captain Marvel 2, November 11th, and then just Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Blade, a new Blade movie,
Yes.
and Fantastic Four, all 2023 movies.
Yeah. I'm not actually too certain if Blade is going to be in 2023 or if it's going to be in the 20, because there's 3 movies in the 2023 slots that we haven't got dates for or even title, and one in the 2024 slot. So Blade could be in any of those. Uh,
I don't know what is this on? Marvel Cinematic Universe on Wonderland.
I'm looking at CNET, not Trust.
Wonderland magazine. I don't know.
But either way, that's
Either way,
the order of the movies that we're going to be getting.
yeah.
Uh, and then yeah, so I think that we're going to find out more about, maybe we're gonna learn more about it. Miss Marvel doesn't have a date yet either, but isn't Miss Marvel a TV series?
Oof.
No, it's not.
Captain Marvel 2.
No, Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is a different hero. Um,
Sorry, my brain went full stupid.
no, no. Uh, but
A lot to
yeah,
come out, a lot to talk about,
but I
and
think that
many more episodes to come. Thanks, Brian.
uh, but I think that the we're going to learn more about what's going on with the Ten Rings because the Ten Rings are now like activated, because they've gone from blue, as you can see in the in the poster there, to that orange when Shang-Chi is using them. So I think we're either going to find out more about that in No Way Home or Multiverse of Madness.
So I'm on
That's
a
theory, a
site,
game theory.
just
Um,
on a site at the moment. So leaving Multiverse Madness on March 25th, Thor: Love and Thunder May 6th. Ooh, this is fucking changing everything. The Marvels. No, November 11th, 2022
hmm,
is set to release, and then
yeah, hopefully life is returned to normal by November next year.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is set to release February 17th, 2023,
And Guardians Volume 3 on May 5th.
May 5th,
Right.
2023, and then the TV shows follow that, being Hawkeye. Well,
Hawkeye's
debut
this.
is November 24th. Yeah, this year. Oh, Miss
Oh,
Marvel is the
no, Miss
series.
Marvel. Yeah, okay. So Miss Marvel is this year,
Uh,
late 2021. What's later than November?
December.
Okay, thank you. I got that in goddamn stereo. But no, I mean, like December is a very weird time, a very weird slot to put a TV series. I think we might get Miss Marvel before the Marvels. That would
So
make sense.
So it says that so far the following projects are seemingly land outside Marvel Phase 4 and will start with the big movie that has release dates to be announced. Marvel movie July 28th, 2023, November 3rd, 2023. And what they have so far on what could possibly be there was Blade, She-Hulk, Moon
She-Hulk,
Knight,
She-Hulk, Moon Knight, She-Hulk
Secret.
and Moon Knight are both TV series.
Yeah, there's so much. There's too much. To Lauren chat is I think we might get Miss Marvel
Uh,
before the Marvels,
that would
possibly.
make sense. That would make
Most likely, yeah.
more sense than it coming afterwards, unless it's going to deal with some fallout from the Marvels. But I think that the post credit scene of Shang Chi,
First one.
no, the second one,
Okay.
the post credit,
Oh, post
where
credits.
we
Sorry.
see Jialing rebuilding the is it Jialing? Yes,
Shining Wu,
rebuilding
yeah.
the 10 rings. I think that's going to figure into Armor Wars, which is the series about Rhodey and uh, Riri, who are both Iron people, and I think that the Ten
Iron
Rings
persons.
are going to be the main antagonist in Iron Wars, where they're going to the Rhodey and whoever else is involved is going to have to face off against the Power Broker and the Ten Rings.
Yeah. There's so much. Like Phase 3 left you, or not Phase 3, kind of the series that we managed to watch, kind of left us on excited opens. Like what
Yeah, like
happened? Like what did the power broker do after making that phone call? Now
I
she's
think
allowed
that
it in the US,
I
and
think that phone call went to the Ten Rings. Like that is where my brain has gone.
okay. So
It,
you wanted to go with theories.
see,
Let's start here.
like it's so that's what I'm thinking is that because there was that blatant the Ten Rings will return.
Yeah.
So I think that both the Power Brokers call at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier and that tied
So
together.
thinking about that, like the only time they ever forcefully mention that something will return is because it will return in a series format. When they spoke
Oh,
about Loki,
really?
yeah, when they spoke about
Uh,
Loki
that
returning, Loki was only going to return in a series format.
this phase, yes, but in the previous phases, no. They said Thor will return, Iron Man will return. At the end of the first Avengers movie, there was a banner that said the Avengers will return.
I don't remember that. I will be honest, I don't remember that.
Really?
Yeah, I'll go rewatch it even if I don't care again.
Go
I
rewatch
think we
all
should
of
retitle this episode to "I'll go and rewatch it."
I'll go and rewatch all of the. No, I've recently done a rewatch, so I'm
Well,
fine with not spending another 40 something
no,
hours.
because my interest will then sit towards when in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, if at any moment during the Madripoor scenes, if there was any mention of a good fighting ring.
There wasn't because that was something I
I
was
don't
looking
I
out
don't
for.
remember word for word, and I didn't know there was going to be anything about a fight scene or
No, but
fighting ring.
that was something that I was listening for because the Shang-Chi trailer had come out already, and they were a lot speaking about that fighting ring being in Madripoor. So I don't remember there being anything um, around that.
I'll go
Maybe
look for
Talora
posters.
has got
Again, we will leave it up to our Marvel whiz also to
yes.
enjoy a full review with us. But yeah, so for anyone out there who is curious, who isn't sure, who doesn't know if this will be a good spend of money or wait until they can do
Or
their own
time.
manner of, or even time, just trust
Go
us,
watch
go
it.
watch it.
Just watch
It's
it.
from beginning to
Even
end.
even if you've seen it already, just go watch it again.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something I want to do. It's,
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
So
I've been waiting since its release dates. I've been looking fucking everywhere,
so
and I
they'll
finally watched it.
having gone and seen this and had our reaction, are you prepared to
So to Laura
to
and
Laura
Chad,
and
yeah,
Chad, yeah.
watch it as many times as you can. Yes,
Uh
fucking yes.
I hope you're prepared to go and see No Way Home, come out of the theater, go and buy another ticket, and then just go and watch it again.
I thought you like just book like 4 movie slots,
Just 4 movie
one
slots,
after the
spend
other.
like an entire day
Yeah,
just
so
sitting
like
in the
the
theater.
first one you just enjoy the movie for the first time watching. Second one you enjoy it. Now you start focusing on specific things they say to see if they say something that's, a bit out of place or something that you caught in the first watch.
Go and like
Second one is to ignore the main characters completely and just look at all the background shit because there's always that shit involved. And then lastly just to rewatch the end because you
so
can.
to Laura and chat. I did that with Infinity War. I watched every single screening in one day. That's dedication. Good lord.
Yeah, well, she is the Marvel whiz,
Yeah,
Connor.
that does make sense.
There's a reason why she corrects us on our own podcast and our own stream.
But other than my theories, I don't have much else.
I just, I'm excited. I'm pretty sure Shang-Chi will definitely return. Maybe not before an Avengers movie, but they will definitely continue with maybe
I
with a second, maybe a third when it
I know
comes
I did
to,
it for Steve Spear. Okay, that's understandable. No,
yeah.
no, you didn't. Don't lie. You did it so you could see Sebastian Stan. Um.
Did she stutter?
Oh wait, Steve's beard is Sebastian. It's Bucky. Um, but
Attached by the chin.
um, but I don't think we're gonna see a standalone Shang-Chi movie and maybe another Avengers.
For 1 second. Puh, leave.
Holy. We know you, Delora. We know what you're into. You can't fool
We
us.
spoke about this last session.
We did. Okay, but
No,
I
so
don't think
not
that we're gonna.
until maybe phase 5. We definitely
Mhm.
won't see another one
No,
until.
because I think that Marvel's gonna diversify as much as they can before sequeling up again. Because they've got a ton of sequels prepared. I mean, Eternals. So they had Black Widow, which is a standalone, Shang-Chi standalone, Eternal standalone.
But
Like
then you have,
new
yeah, but
movie.
then in part of phase 4, you have Black Panther 2,
You
Thor
have
Love and Thunder.
you've got Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange 2, Thor 4. It's the fourth movie.
No, it's the third. What are you talking about? The other one was too dark. I didn't see shit.
Yeah. Well, there
And
was
also
that one
literally
scene.
had no reason to be
No,
there.
no, it didn't. But if you're gonna do a rewatch, you still,
Yeah,
it's still
no, you were
there.
still included. But no,
But
like,
it's the fourth
but you
movie. They
see,
haven't done this before.
no, but that's what I'm saying. So you see this inclusion that there are some sequels or yeah, no, some sequels following previous movies in a next phase.
Hmm.
So I'm pretty
Well, I mean,
optimistic that Shang Chi can
again,
come in a standalone
1, 2, 3.
in Phase 5, which is only 2024, 2025 if you're lucky.
So there's 15 movies stated here for Phase 4.
Jesus
Uh,
Christ, we're gonna need about 3
so
episodes just so we can
so
cover Phase 4.
if we take out the five untitled, that's one, two,
Well, 15 minus 5.
three. So that's seven. No, I'm saying minus that, and then minus the standalone or the single new franchise movies. Um, that's seven sequels. 7 out of 10 sequels. So you know, I don't know if they're going to try and because there's a lot of hype around Blade, and I guess Blade is the only other one that we really know about because Fantastic Four there's been buzz around it for a while. But Fantastic Four then is also a new franchise for the MCU specifically.
And so we this is the whole Spider-Man situation all over again. Move from one, move to another. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say a failed attempt, but a failed continuation. Because I mean, they try to continue the first Fantastic Four, then they
Yeah, with the
try to
Silver Surfer.
yeah, and then they try to start the
So
second
it,
batch,
so it was a failed continuation and then a failed
a
attempt.
failed start.
Yeah, because that Sony
We
whatever
don't,
that
yeah.
fuck that was terrible. But
I think so. I think Marvel or Disney just needs to buy out Sony,
instead
absorb
of
it, just
Sony,
absorb it. I mean, that's it. Who
they
did
did it to
they? Yeah,
Fox.
they did it to Fox when it came down to. Uh, was it, no, it was Fantastic Four.
It was Fox. Yeah.
Yeah, they bought out Fox so that they could get the rights to Fantastic. Obviously, for more reasons, but for anyone who knows Marvel knows that
But
they
it's
bought it
mainly
out just to
Fantastic
take over
Four.
Fantastic Four, and now
Um,
they're like being who they are and what they're capable of doing. Their release of something, this can't be something that they just meddle about with and then come later with an official continuation.
but
This
I
Fantastic Four is gonna be canon for the MCU.
and I think that it's going to be our first like truly great Fantastic Four movie because what they've done with Spider-Man, they will probably do with Fantastic
Yeah,
Four.
skip the fucking reason of how they got there.
But I do also think that this uh, this phase or whatever this phase bleeds into, this is going to be the Kang saga.
So my curiosity, we've got to Laura chat. John Krasinski for
Krasinski for
Reed.
yes, yes, 1,000 times yes, please. Oh, he would be excellent. That would be so damn good. Yes, John Krasinski for Reed. Yes,
Oh God, that'll be fucking funny.
dude, John Krasinski. Though he is getting a little old.
Well, we thought they all got old, but
And then all they need to do is just bring back Chris Evans.
what did he?
Hey, John Krasinski.
Yeah, what did he act in when he got so
Fireplace.
fucking ripped?
Uh, I don't know, but he was in the office.
Yeah, well, I know that much. I remember watching something.
Okay, but
Emily Blunt is
yes,
yes.
Emily Blunt is. So you get Reed as John Krasinski, and then Emily Blunt as Sue, so they can play a husband and wife, being a husband and wife.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
But also,
Yes.
like with Emily Blunt, I can't. She doesn't
Yes.
necessarily take serious roles on a lot
Not
of everything.
no. but yes, that's what I was saying to Laura. Chris Evans as Johnny Blaze again.
Oh, that now that would be the most like if you're
And then
looking at a storyline in the MCU, you trying to bring Chris Evans. It's gonna have to be a parallel universe where
no, no,
where
no. It's
Steve
the same.
Rogers has a
It's the
sister.
same universe, and then like it gets to an Avengers situation, and you've got like Thor or Rhodey, and they're looking at Johnny like, you look very
Yeah,
familiar.
well, the Laurie chat is then everyone looks at him very confused because of the
The similar,
not
yeah,
similarity, the dead-on comparison in terms of facial
features.
features. Like the body's going to be definitely not the same.
Well, it'll be on
well,
fire. So
well, technically, if he has to keep up his physique in general, he would be the same built-looking guy. Just
it'll just be like Cap, but on fire.
yeah, a cap that can fly with flames. That's all it. I don't know. It would be really funny.
Dude, that would be excellent.
But that's like again, it's them taking something that might have failed in the past and continuing with it is exciting because they've done fucking wonders.
They have, and
This
this
cap
cap
is on
is on
fire.
fire. But I'm very impressed. Like, as you were saying, the Black Widow did leave a bad taste in our mouths. Granted, the series were exceptional, but as
Speaking
far
of
as the
locally, mostly,
no, also okay. So except for WandaVision, which I wasn't like
it
over the moon
didn't. Yeah,
about,
it didn't leave me a bad taste, but it didn't leave
but
me on wow.
yeah, it wasn't something like I watched it because I knew I needed to, and there were parts, but it wasn't like, oh, I need to see what happens next. Where Loki and Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was constantly,
Like
damn, I
on
need to
edge,
know,
yeah.
I need to know, I need to see this next episode.
And
So if
I
we,
think Shang Chi also finally put
mm,
that Marvel like
Marvel is now
view.
fully like the Marvel Studios movies specifically are back in my good books with Shang Chi because they did such a great job on. All
And
they
you
need to
know,
do
is continuous Spider-Man is make
is
it
they
just as good.
look, I'm very keen on the Eternal. Gone into, I've watched two trailers, but I've watched them a fair bit ago. I've stopped watching trailers for Eternals now, and I've stopped watching theory stuff for it,
I
so I could go in
luckily
as blind as
I skip a
possible.
lot of the theory shit. I go into it just so I can because I kind of go in with the mindset of if this movie leaves me on everything that was good about the movie was in the
Mm.
trailer, that
Then
kind
it's
of it makes me not like the movie as its make. So I only watch the trailer just to make sure that the movie has more to it, which I know for a fact Shang-Chi did
I thought,
exactly that.
dude, I would watch a couple trailers and I was like, okay, I feel like I've seen everything, and I was still not prepared for the movie.
For fucking Trevor.
For all the best shit in this movie. But still, I'm gonna stay away from trailers. If there's another Spider-Man trailer, watch it.
You're
But
not
I'm
going
trying.
to
You're not
Lauren
gonna want
chat.
to know me when Eternals comes out because I have a feeling I'll do what I did with Infinity War. Oh, where you go and you watch, uh, you watch it
Every single
episode.
release for that day. So we'll just say that about 100,000 of the 29 million that gets released was to Laura.
Yeah,
Just continuously watching the movie over and
yeah,
over
because she's
again.
gonna need, and she's single-handedly funding new Metro, going
Yeah.
and spending 76
You wonder
thousand rand
why Stir Chemical still exists.
to Laura.
But it's just in that one shopping mall. It's nowhere
It's
else.
just to Laura going and buying popcorn.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
but
ma'am, the movie's not ready. I know. I'll wait.
I'm just gonna. Then they're like, "Sorry, you have to leave now. I've got another."
No, it's just like it's gonna be that whole ma'am, we need you to move, and it's sorry, here's my employee pass. A movie's at Gold Reef, yes. So
Yes.
yes,
So
I know.
cost-effective movies.
Yeah, because it's only like $50.
But
It's
yeah,
gonna be me and the same at Monty. Don't worry.
Shang-Chi has definitely reinstilled faith in Marvel for me.
But I think because now they've got a more frequent release setup, they know
We're
they can
getting
get
like
back
a
into
movie
their
every.
normal 2 or 3 months. But they're finally
Yeah,
getting back into their normal rhythm of releasing, which is exactly. I mean, again, sad things happen in the world. There are pandemics and shit, so we can't blame them. But then going from a release of Black Widow to here's 3 series, and then,
Mm.
oh, by the way, now we're officially starting back
Yeah.
with movies. When I
Wait,
think about leaving the Marvel, I think about leaving it with Spider-Man No Way Far From Home, and starting it again
at,
with Shang Chi in the MCU. When it comes
look,
to series, I take that separately.
I think that it, like the series do have their place very much. But with Black Widow, I think that Black Widow will sit a lot better as as part of a chronological rewatch
Yeah,
rather than the beginning of Phase 4.
yeah, because you'd throw that in by the Civil War situation,
Yeah, just before Civil War. And
or is it just no? It's just after Civil War.
to Laura, um, but
Anything that kind of wants to know, Talura?
Shang-Chi does feel a lot more um
Like the first stepping stone.
like yeah, it feels like a good entrance into Phase 4.
But fuck it, we also went straight past that fight scene we were talking about.
Which one?
When he steps on the rings to hit a punch, no one, Connor didn't realize it, but that exact move happened in Doctor Strange, where they used the boots when he tapped them, and they in essence created a platform to stand on. He did exactly that, and he smacked the shit out of Stephen Strange. So I just thought that, I don't know if they did that intentionally, or if it was just something they did, and my brain found the connection, which many people might have as well. So just seeing that connection between two very different movies was fantastic. And not a lot of people, like, again, we talk about going in depth into a lot of things. My brain went into depth in that for a fight scene.
Single punch.
For a single punch, but standing on rings to do so. Magical standing things.
But the use of the rings was very smart in the fight scenes.
No, just like, I mean, when he learns his mother's way of fighting, being able to take the rings away from his father, control
Airbending.
them. Yeah, pretty much. Cool air metal bending. Because he controls the rings, you see them change from the blue to gold, and then he throws them back. Marvel has just been really good with those little callbacks, i.e., Jimmy Woo. Yes. If you're talking about the fight scene, yes. It's things you don't notice, things you don't think too much about, but as soon as it pops up, your brain just goes, "Oh my god, goblin goo."
But this movie was excellent. I'm very keen to go and rewatch it.
So if any of you don't know or haven't yet, or still questioning it, myself,
Just
Con,
go.
and definitely to Laura in chat, go watch it,
Just
and
go.
us, we will go watch it again. It was fucking worth it.
It was awesome. So good.
But any other theories that you might have in mind
No,
that you got from Shang-Chi, not from trailers?
no, that's I'm
Well, I mean, we still
not
have the
just
question
waiting
of
for yeah,
we still have the question of what the fuck Wu's doing.
Wong.
Wong, sorry, what Wong's
Yeah,
doing.
and I don't know if we're going to get resolution about that until maybe uh She-Hulk, because Abomination slated to be in She-Hulk. So I don't know if we're going to get any resolution in Doctor Strange.
Fingers fucking crossed. I don't
No,
know
no,
if
he's you don't need to cross your fingers. It's been confirmed that
no, I'm
what's his name?
saying I hope he gets in at any other point as well, because Abomination, it doesn't matter about Abomination. I just want the actor back. He was fantastic. He was in the one Connor did not like. But when the fact that when they finally take over a film and decide to rewrite it in its own manner, in their own way, when they keep certain characters as the actors, I think it's amazing, because they definitely know that character's left an imprint for that reason.
Well, I mean, if you look at Alfred Molina,
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, keeping the good, but moving around the bad, fixing the bad. But you know for a fact that there were certain parts of the movies that brought people's focus and attention, and mine was Abomination for that entire film.
for what?
Incredible.
Entirety of Oh,
No,
okay, I was
no,
gonna say
for Incredible
Shang-Chi.
Hulk. Yes, no, my entire focus on Shang-Chi was
She
wanting to
was
watch
just
the 2 minutes of
one scene.
Abomination bitch smacking himself, then walking through a teleporter while mumbling, and that's it. Also, why the fuck did Abomination have fish ears?
Yeah, I remember that. You in the middle of the movie. Why has he got fish yet?
I understand the whole aspect of Hulk's body being able to like form fit itself to survive, and
And
like
literally
he gets so
react
angry he can
right.
survive. So I understand, but is Abomination's one where his body alters to do the same? Was he in water recently? Maybe
No.
Aquaman becomes part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Or you could just go with
Just a
Namor, who is an actual Avenger.
meh. I just want to see Abomination swimming. That's all.
Yeah, but it's just him, like not moving the rest of his body, just in torpedo, and
No, the
him
fish
his
is
ears like flicking and just like dragging him along.
the most abominable thing about him are the ears. To Laura in chat, yes, and that's the first thing. Like I've watched Abomination. Okay, we skip like his whole inclusion in the other movie, but the character itself, the way it looks, I mean, it can still talk as a normal person. It can still do anything. It still has the same mindset. Yet in this movie, he's got fish ears and he mumbles. I don't know
Well,
if he was just grumpy.
he did just punch the shit out of himself.
You got knocked the fuck out by yourself.
It's effectively, yes. And
the,
when he knocks himself out, the three guys like trying to
the
drag
one
him
guy's
out.
just got him by the foot, and the foot is the size of him.
No, but there was so much good in this movie. It's got me hyped to see what else Marvel has. Not necessarily for Shang-Chi, but just for other like the Eternals, which I'm super keen on because it's another set of or another the story that not many people know about.
Yeah,
So I think Marvel's they're gonna bring some bangers.
and MASH. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. No, I'm finally starting to get back into the full hype of Marvel again. I mean, I didn't do like a full watch through like you did before, so I had an opinion about how the thing should work and how well they were doing. And again, starting with Black Widow, just dropped everything for me,
Well, I mean, at the moment, what you could do is
except for Scarlett Johansson, of course.
you could do a rewatch, because Shang-Chi does not, it falls chronologically last in the Marvel movies.
Yeah, they
So you,
did. They did mention about the 5 year
yeah, they were
times,
saying that you could, we live in a world where half the population can vanish.
and yeah,
And I mean, that's direct call to,
Thanos snap. Yeah.
yeah,
Also, what if that was funny? I'm
what?
sorry. Well, you told me I shouldn't watch episode 2. I watched episode 2. Okay, with T'Challa, Star Lord
Oh,
having
yes, that's
Thanos
the one
by
that
his
we said you
side.
needed to watch.
I thought you
And
said don't watch.
no, that's the
No, you
T'Challa
said
Star
watch
Wars.
1, 3,
No,
and
what?
5.
No. We said don't watch 1, 3, and 5.
Oh, I enjoyed all of them. Number 1,
No,
Captain
no,
Carter was good.
all of them were great, but like the T'Challa one was, in my opinion, it's the best so far.
It was fuck. It was funny.
But
Just
there's a little tidbit in there where they're fighting the Collector. The Collector says no, he's got this, he's got the arm.
Marvel
No, it
Zombies was
wasn't,
the best.
Laura.
So Laura, can we put that aside? I haven't watched that far yet. I'm only on
No, it
episode
wasn't. It
3.
wasn't as good as Cha Cha. Cha Cha is the best.
Cha Cha
Okay,
is the smooth. And if once someone actually knows who the fuck Star Lord is.
but so the Collector pulls off the arm off the rack, and he says that he cuts it off. I think it's a Krogan. It's Korg's arm that he's holding as a weapon.
I will go back.
Go and watch it again. But I don't know if you've got any other comments on Shang-Chi.
So for everything that we've spoken about today, go watch it again.
Yep.
If you
Go
haven't watched it yet,
that's
go watch
the
it
main
and then go watch it
consensus
again.
is just watch it a couple more times.
Yeah, so our main problem tonight is that we didn't know whether we were going to actually have an hour's worth of content, even though, yes, we love rambling on about shit. And now I'm seeing we're currently in an hour and 15 of the stream itself, excluding the first 15
Yeah.
minutes of the go live.
There has been an hour and 15 minutes
15.
worth of us gushing about a single movie. I don't think out of any of the Marvel movies we've spoken about, especially in our retrospectives, there hasn't been a single movie we have gone on this hard about.
Well, we did go on about Iron Man for a whole hour out of the 2 hours worth of
Yes,
phase
but it
one.
wasn't gushing at this level.
No, that was all. I think we were just gushing at the fact of how, in the creation of Marvel. But I think
Yeah.
there is still a lot more to come, especially with phase 3 to be spoken about, which we've already started getting the works for. And
But I think that if this is a precursor to how good Phase 4 is, I think it may be the best phase.
I think I'm not gonna say that just yet because I still love what I love, and yeah, they might not have Bucky anymore. I just want to see what Laura does. Yeah, imagine they took Bucky out completely now.
Yeah, they're just like everybody's like, okay, what happened to Bucky?
No, meh. Yep, there's the Laura, just angry faces in chat.
We get the drop for the second season of Falcon.
Yeah, no, just Captain Falcon.
Falcon. But the main takeaway from this episode is go watch and or rewatch and or rewatch Shang-Chi.
Yeah, so I'm gonna retitle this when I upload it, and hopefully I remember. I'm
Yeah.
gonna retitle it to just go rewatch. I know you might have seen it. Just go watch it again.
Just go watch it. We don't care how many times you've watched it.
Yeah, but it's
We don't
also
care if you were in the movie.
yeah, but even though like
watch
we were talking about the hype of again, that's might not be the difference. Might be different for you, but like for me, the start of phase 4, this being it, is the reason why I would definitely rewatch it. Is because of how much it's left me wanting the next. It's left me already waiting for November for Eternals. It's already left me waiting for December for No Way Home.
Yeah, it did its job.
It did its job so well, so deliciously.
It did its job of getting people hyped. You know, aside from being a great
good movie,
on
yeah.
its own, it's been a great hype beast for the next Marvel movie.
Yeah. So we can go on and on for hours just saying, "Fuck, it was good. Fuck, it was
so
good. It was so good." We can go on for hours just saying exactly that, but that just kind of proves how good it actually was for us. That it's
Yeah.
we can talk about a few things, but we're speechless on the overall aspect of like, other than just go watch it. It was good.
It was just good. It was just excellent. It was amazing.
So
I'm gonna rewatch it as soon as I financially can.
yeah, no, definitely Sam. As soon as I'm able to, I'm gonna rewatch it. Again, probably not before Eternals, but maybe before No Way Home. I might do a full run through from the beginning to end.
That's what I'm saying is you could probably do it now.
Well, for
because Shang
Eternals,
is the latest movie in the MCU where Eternals will be the earliest.
well, that's for me. I'm when it comes down to, I'll include the Eternals in my rewatch.
So what you could do is you could just go watch the Eternals in cinema, go to the first Avenger, and then chronologically upwards.
Well, not necessarily, because they, again, I don't know if you did see it in the trailer. Obviously, they do speak about Cap not being there anymore.
yeah, but
So who's going to run the Avengers? It's sort of their time.
no, it jumps from the beginning of Mankind all the way until
Yeah,
after after Thanos is defeated.
yeah.
So when I say chronologically, it's because the story does.
So I should watch for the beginning part of Eternals.
Just
Stop
watch
it right
until-
there.
Stop it right there. Captain America.
Watch everything else and then go back to
Watch
the
everything
Eternal.
else. Watch. Yeah.
No, I'm definitely hyped. Marvel, you've done it again. You've continuously done it. We ignore one or two of the ones, 3 of them that you've put out.
Oh right.
We'll skip. Yeah, your series, we talk about some of them. 2 of them.
Lies. We talk about all of them.
No, just 2 of them.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier and
And Loki.
WandaVision had its place.
Yeah, and maybe I'm not sure what Canada actually looks like for the rest of this month. Yeah, because we technically have these last 2 weeks left. So not next Saturday or Sunday after that, we're going to be doing our potluck. So we could do a what if, or maybe a beginning in the first half of phase 3. I think we'll kind of leave it to people's
Well,
imaginations.
we'll figure out as the week goes on. Follow us on Absolute Buggery on
Yeah,
Twitter.
follow us on Twitter. Follow
Find out
us
more when I do occasionally tweet about the show.
when you do. Well, no, it tweets out every time we use it. So
No,
like
but I'm saying when I'm actually
you
giving
slipping up, Connor.
up, Dylan.
Jesus.
Dude, I've had a busy 2 weeks.
Hey, so have I. Just some of us weren't as excited about the weeks as you have been.
Dude.
I can see the smile. But no,
Okay.
I think wrapping it up there. Final opinion. Just go watch it.
Yep.
Go watch it again.
Go watch it again and
Go watch
once
it again.
more after that.
Just make sure that the final review of the box office is better than Iron Man 1, because I'm not saying this is better because Iron Man 1 was the start,
But
but
this is
this is better,
so much better.
so much better.
But yeah,
Sorry to RDJ.
I've got nothing else to say about Shang.
To Laura in chat, is there anything other than angry faces you want to throw at us? You can also plug yourself, because we did do the worst thing last week and not let our guests plug themselves.
Oh right, we have to give to Laura a big ol' shout
Yeah.
out.
So
to
can you?
her socials?
So would you like to do that? That you can't.
Oh, it's TALXRA on Twitter and I think Instagram.
I think Instagram.
But yeah, go follow her on Twitter. I think I as far as I know, she's also.
For anyone who's curious how to spell it, you can just look at chat when this is up on YouTube and just put an app before that.
I think she's also got a Marvel that you should go listen to on Spotify, but you'll find that at her Twitter. I don't have that on.
Fuck it, we'll just tag her in. We'll post it on our Twitter. We'll link her to her page.
We'll give her all the shout outs because she helps us so much with our Marvel.
As you have seen in a lot of the shit we say, where we say the Mandalorian and she says the chicken dish to correct us. But no, I don't think there's anything else from me from my side. I just loved it. I just loved it.
We're gonna
But
keep
yes.
saying that for more hours if we.
Yeah. So as soon as we say goodbye and go to the end screen, Connor and I just at the end, because we still chat, put the mics off. We're just gonna keep saying the same shit. But no. So from myself, there's nothing. From Con, there's nothing. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for listening. To Laura, thank you again for chat. Thank you to all our beautiful viewers out there. You guys mean the world to us.
You really, really do.
And we really appreciate all of you. And again, we've been Absolute Buggery.
And we've had opinions.
Bye.
We've had one opinion for an hour and a half.
Yeah, well, we had mixed opinions about certain situations.
No, but on our
But
main
our own
topic,
yeah.
we had one opinion.
We've been Absolute Buggery, and we've had
we've had
opinion. Good night.
Bye.